Thank you for joining us for this episode of CNTV. I'm Brad Clonch.
And I'm Quinn Tran. We hope you're enjoying the holiday season.
Let's take you to Sulphur, Oklahoma to explore Mahota Textiles.
It's the first tribally owned textile company in the country that's inspired by Chickasaw heritage. Travel to downtown Sulphur, Oklahoma. Mahota Textiles isn't hard to find. Spot the creative energy from the outside. Step inside. Experience warmth, culture, and family.
The name behind Mahota is Margaret's great-great-great-grandmother.
Chickasaw textile artist Margaret Roach Wheeler is known internationally for her weaving. She started Mahota Textiles to showcase these beautiful works that tell the Chickasaw story.
So traditionally, a lot of our symbols are circular. And so that is something that we incorporate here using our sun symbol. The life design, which is also a very popular design, it includes our river design and our sun design. It's actually our Okja blanket, which is life in Chickasaw. It just tells the story of the significance of water and the sun and how those were important for all life, but especially, within Native American culture, we gave thanks every day for those things. So the eagle is representative of wisdom and strength and power. Traditionally, for us, the eagle flew close to the Creator, and so that's very powerful and significant to us.
Each piece is significant because of the stories they tell. Every item is made with great care and high quality.
All of our products are sustainably made in the U.S., which is very important to us. Woven by a mill in Pennsylvania. They're commercially woven in a tighter weave, and our mill actually specializes in upholstery. So the products are almost an upholstery quality. They're gonna last, they're durable, they're built with a quality that is really unmatched. Most are 100% cotton, except for our silk scarves.
The scarves are part of the latest collection. Each season features something new and an up-and-coming artist.
Just for instance, the White Dog's Path, which is our newest product by Phelan Seawright. It is the story of the white dog. Whenever someone would pass away, the white dog would lead them on their journey to the afterlife. So her blanket's really special because within Native American communities and the Chickasaw Nation, it tells the story of the White Dog's Path, but she also incorporated within the Milky Way some brighter stars, and those are our elders. Our Chickasaw Map 2 blanket just launched this year. It is a newer version of our Chickasaw Map blanket that we released in 2018. And this blanket is different by the colors and the quality. It's a little bit thicker than what we did previous years. The Chickasaw Map is special to a lot of people because of the significance. It's the map of 1723, which was originally done on deer skin. The map is a layout of the Chickasaw villages and how we saw the world. I would say a must-have is our new purses. They are a crossbody purse with a very modern design, and they are very neutral in a black and white color, so I think they're going to be very popular.
Owned and operated by the Chickasaw Nation, Mahota Textiles is the first North American tribally run textile company. The beautiful items are in more than 30 major locations and museum stores that include the Smithsonian, First Americans Museum, and the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum.
I take great pride in this business and being a part of it. It gives us that opportunity to share our rich history and our culture with others. The response from people is amazing.
Put the beautiful blankets, pillows, and purses on your Christmas wish list. Besides the store there in Sulphur, the list is growing of places carrying Mahota Textiles.
And you can actually shop for items online. See all that Mahota Textiles offers and make purchases at mahotatextiles.com.
And it's an exciting day for both the Chickasaw Nation, for the city of Oklahoma City, and for our economy of the state of Oklahoma.
Governor Bill Anoatubby, along with other tribal and local leaders, took part in the groundbreaking ceremony this fall for the Okana Resort and Indoor Water Park. Construction crews are building the 11-story resort hotel located by the new First American Museum along the Oklahoma River near downtown Oklahoma City. The large resort will feature luxurious accommodations, an outdoor adventure lagoon, family event center, conference space, art gallery, and an amphitheater. Okana will be a $400 million tourist destination designed to continue the momentum of economic development in Oklahoma City.
It's a family-focused venture. It's one of those things that really people need in Oklahoma. When people want this kind of experience, they have to go out of state, or the facilities we do have are smaller. This will accommodate the market that exists for this kind of recreation and enjoyment.
This construction project creates about 1,400 jobs. Eventually, full-time employment is projected to expand to as many as 800 direct and indirect jobs over a 10-year period. It's estimated the 10-year economic impact of the development will exceed $1 billion. Chickasaw Nation fish and wildlife licenses are available to tribal citizens. Beginning in October, the tribe offered the license to hunt and fish within the Chickasaw Nation. License permits are available through the Chickasaw Nation Fish and Wildlife Service. Get more information at chickasaw.net/hunting.
We recently connected with the Chickasaw author of this book, Protecting Our People, Chickasaw Law Enforcement in Indian Territory. Michelle Cook researched and wrote about Chickasaw lawmen, including Light Horse Police. Their interesting stories, old photographs, records, and documents make this a fascinating book.
I think the most interesting thing I found was how far back our law enforcement system went. One of the earliest things I found that was fascinating to me was on microfilm from July of 1846, and it was a list of Chickasaw light horsemen, and they all had these Chickasaw names. For one thing, I was impressed they had even documented it, and that we still had access to the microfilm at this point, and it's all scanned in, which the majority of the research in this book came from microfilm. And throughout the book, we included copies of a lot of the microfilm so people can see the actual handwritten information. I love the history part of it and finding out how far back Light Horse goes. I think that was fabulous. They assigned a number of Light Horse to each district, and their job was to enforce the laws of the districts. And so they were the only law enforcement for the homeland. So everything fell to them, and they would enforce punishments and enforce the death penalty in some cases. And then after removal in 1856, Governor Harris wrote an act that defined the duties of sheriffs and developed that, and then there were deputy sheriffs. So they just kind of moved and gradually went over to this new position. There were still Light Horse, but they added these on, I guess I should say. When we came over to Indian Territory, we didn't have the backing of the federal government. We were only, for law enforcement, we were only allowed to police Native Americans. We weren't allowed to police non-natives at all. During that time, it was difficult because there were a lot of non-natives coming up that were criminals coming up from Texas to Oklahoma or to Indian Territory to escape law enforcement, but we couldn't do anything about it. We couldn't capture them or give them sentences or anything like that. When the sheriffs came on, that changed things. And then we had the U.S. Indian Police around 1880, which further changed things and allowed us to have the backing. That U.S. Indian Police really allowed us to have the backing of the United States and be able to prosecute non-natives in our territories. In 2004, the Light Horse Police was reinstated by Governor Anoatubby. So we were able to see them come back into the picture. So I want people to glean the concept of our sovereignty and protecting that all the way back. We've always protected our sovereignty. And so starts in the homelands, came with us, and we're still protecting our people now.
Michelle Cook spent 5 years researching for the book. In an upcoming episode, she tells us what she learned about her own great-grandfather and his law enforcement service.
You may go now to ChickasawPress.com to see its latest publications. These are the 3 new titles for the year. We're exploring the books during the holidays and plan to visit with the authors in the new year. We'll share more with you very soon. Chickasaw Press books are a great gift to give this holiday.
Learn about Chickasaw culture through a wide variety of the books. Ladonna Brown helps us explore a classic titled The Indian Way, Chickasaws.
This book is very special to us because it was told by people that lived during the 1970s. The person who wrote the book was Dorothy Milligan, and she talked to many different Chickasaw citizens. One of the main ones that she talked to was Governor Overton James. Governor Overton James' interview was very insightful. And the reason is because he talked about governmental issues that took place at the time. He let us understand how important it was for all these things to take place, because all of those things that took place actually helps us to get to where we are today. There were other citizens from the community that were interviewed. All of their experiences shaped who they are today. They were really hopeful and they were really cheerful about what the future held for the Chickasaw Nation.
You are Chickasaw, Ladonna. How significant is this book to you, to other Chickasaws, and those interested in tribal traditions, history, and culture?
I feel like this book is very significant to the Chickasaw people. And the reason is I feel like it really reinforces our cultural values. When we read these interviews from these Chickasaw citizens, and most of these Chickasaw citizens are now gone, but their words leave a lasting impression upon us. And we don't have that source readily available to us from early literature. Most of the early literature that's written about the Chickasaw people is from outside sources. And so now here is a book from the 70s that was written by an outsider. But the most important thing is that she captured Chickasaw people's words in the way that they spoke. And we understand the way that they speak and how important it is, or how significant the statement is. And so that's what we see in the writings of The Indian Way by Dorothy Milligan, because she did capture our personalities. She did capture the way that our ancestors speak, and she did capture that significance of what they're trying to share, or the message that they're trying to share. Shared it from their family accounts, through existence of their family stories, and was told in a very personal way. And this really spoke to me. You know, in my family, I heard about these stories, but when it's just coming from your family, you kind of hear about those things all the time. But as other families begin to share their stories and their accounts, and they're the same things that your family shares, it really begins to reinforce this understanding, this deep understanding of our cultural identity, and really begins to help us to understand who we are, and where we came from, and what our shared core beliefs are. And I think that's very important.
We enjoy reading the books published by the Chickasaw Press. We'll take a closer look at other publications in upcoming episodes.
And look for holiday events planned for this month. Visit Chickasaw.net for the latest schedule of activities. Well, Quinn and I have enjoyed spending time with you.
We'll see you back here next time.